Okay, so today we are on unit 4.4. And what we're going to be working on today are parabolas in descriptive form. Parabolas in descriptive form. So, your instructions are going to tell you to graph, and I want you to label label vertex and a line of symmetry. Okay, line of symmetry. Now, I am not asking you to find x and y intercepts here. So we are just going to graph, label vertex, and line of symmetry. Okay, so for example number 1, okay, I'm going to give you the equation y equals x plus 1 quantity squared minus 2. X plus 1 quantity squared minus 2. Graph, label vertex, and line of symmetry. Now, yesterday, we had a formula for how we found the line of symmetry and then the vertex. Today, there is no formula for this. So, what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to graph, okay? So, we're going to make an XY table. So, X, then we're going to plug in, and then we're going to get Y. So, we're going to make our little XY table. You've done this before. We did this when we first graphed lines. Okay, so we're going to pick X values, then we're going to plug them in, and we're going to get the Y values. So, what we're going to pick for X values, I will tell you on this first one. I want you to use -3, -2, -1, 0, and +1. So we are actually going to plug in for X and get a Y value. So I want you to plug in for X. So we're going to plug in -3 plus 1 quantity squared minus 2. So what would be -3 plus 1? That's -2. -2 squared is 4 minus 2 gives you a Y value of +2. Okay, let's do it again. -2 plus 1, quantity squared, minus 2. -2 plus 1 gives you -1. -1 squared is 1, minus 2 is -1. So we do 1 minus 2 is -1. Okay, plug in again. -1 plus 1 squared minus 2. -1 plus 1 gives you 0. 0 squared is still 0. 0 minus 2 is -2. So keep plugging in. Same thing for the next one. Plug in 0, and then I want you to plug in 1. You're going to get a Y value. So if I plug in 0, what do I get for my Y value? Let's try it again. 0 plus 1 is 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 minus 2 is -1. Okay, same thing on this last one. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 2 gives you a 2. Now I can actually graph these. So go ahead and graph these. Okay, so put your points. To label these, or excuse me, plot these points. Okay, if you plot these points, I have one point at -3, 2, so over 3 up 2. Your next point is -2, -1. Our next point is at -1, -2, 0, -1, and finally 1, 2. So is this forming a parabola shape? Does that look like a parabola? Yes. Okay, so we're graphing. So where would be the line of symmetry? Straight down the middle. If I label this line of symmetry, excuse me? Okay, where is my line of symmetry? At x equals what? What is this? X equals -1. So your line of symmetry is that x equals -1. Any questions on how we did that? Okay, so you're picking values, plugging them in. Yes, Avon.
Like when you have like the y equals x plus 1, why don't you just instead of like doing all that, you just distribute and make it like the other way?
Why don't I actually FOIL and get the other way? We'll get there. You actually did what?
I did that yesterday.
Oh, you did this on accident. So you just FOILed and then combined like terms and then used the formula. That's a theory. Okay. However, let's try another one. Okay, we're kind of going to discover something today. Okay, so I get your theory, but I want to keep it in this form because I like descriptive form. Okay, it gave me descriptive form, so I want to keep it this way. So let's try this again. Let's try y equals x minus 4 quantity squared plus 1. Y equals x minus 4 quantity squared plus 1. Let's do this xy table thing again. So x, then we have x minus 4 squared plus 1. It's one of my next column. And then I have a y. Now for this one, I'm going to tell you we want to plug in 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. I'm giving you those values already. I want you to plug in here. So if we plug in 6 minus 4, quantity squared plus 1. 6 minus 4 gives you 2. 2 squared is 4 plus 1 gives me a value of 5. Do this again for 5. 5 minus 4 squared plus 1. And do 4 minus 4 squared plus 1. 3 minus 4 squared plus 1. And 2 minus 4 squared plus 1. If I plug in this one, 5 minus 4 gives you 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, next one. 4 minus 4 squared, that's 0. 0 squared is 0. Plus 1 is 1. What do I get when I plug in 3? You guys already work ahead on this?
Yeah.
You get a 2 and a 5.
Is it also losing power?
Okay, that's kind of the point here. I gave you these numbers on purpose so that these will form a parabola. Okay, they're balanced on equal sides. Okay, so over 6 up 5. So over 6 up 5. Over 5 up 2. Over 3 up 1. I'm sorry, over 4 up 1. Over 3 up 2. So I'm intentionally giving you this nice parabolic shape. Okay, this nice parabola shape. If I labeled it, where would be my line of symmetry here? Where's my fold line? At x equals what? This is 1. X equals 4. Okay. I want to go backwards, and I want to look. What do we notice anything? And I'm sorry. Let's label my vertex. Okay. What was the vertex for this one? This vertex would be what? -1, -2. Okay, so my vertex here would have been at -1, -2. What's the vertex on this parabola? 4, 1. My vertex is at 4, 1. Do you notice anything about the vertex or the line of symmetry in relation to the equation that I gave you at the beginning? What are we noticing? Yes, Abby.
On the top one, it has numbers 1 and 2. Like,
These are in your equation, right?
yeah.
These are in your answer. These are in your equation and also in your answer, right? There is a direct correlation between descriptive form and the vertex and descriptive form and the line of symmetry. So, for example, number 3, okay? if I just give you the equation y equals x minus 6 quantity squared plus 8. X minus 6 quantity squared plus 8. Okay? To get the line of symmetry, okay, to get the line of symmetry, all you have to do is change this sign. Or, I'm sorry, it is the opposite of whatever that sign is to get line of symmetry. So here, the line of symmetry is x equals the opposite sign of what's inside there. So the line of symmetry would be x equals positive 6. Okay, all you do is change this. It's the opposite sign. Look back up here. Line of symmetry was x equals 4. If I change that sign, I have x equals positive 4. Same thing here. Line of symmetry, x equals negative 1. Change that sign, x equals negative 1. Now, the vertex, so that's your line of symmetry. Line of symmetry is the opposite sign of what's inside the parentheses. The vertex comes from these two numbers, okay? And the way you find the vertex is we change the sign, keep the sign. Change the sign, keep the sign. So the vertex here would be 6, 8. Change, keep. Vertex is change and keep. Now, if we went back here, same thing. Change the sign, keep the sign. That's your vertex. Same thing. Change the sign, keep the sign. That's your vertex. Okay? Always works that way in descriptive form. So believe it or not, descriptive form is actually, in my opinion, much easier because there's no formula. If it's in this form already, find your line of symmetry, change the sign. X equals line. We're good. Find the vertex, change, and keep. And that's it. Okay? Yes, Brittany?
So we would do this instead of doing that formula?
It depends. Yesterday, if they're given to you in standard form, you can't change them into this form. Okay? They have to be in something, quantity squared, plus a number at the end. This is descriptive form. If they're in standard form, you have to use that formula that we used yesterday. Okay? You can't change them back and forth. Yes?
So do we not have to do the whole table thing?
So you do not have to do the whole table thing. No. I showed you this to show you what a pain it is so that you will appreciate my nice little shortcut. Okay? It was very much on purpose that I gave you this horribly annoying table to fill in and then show you this. Did I come up with it? No. Yes, I wasted your time on purpose so that you would appreciate my shortcut. What shortcut? Did I come up with it? Yeah, no. Someone showed it to me and I'm showing it to you. But thanks for asking. Okay, so the vertex, okay? Vertex. To find vertex, in a y equals a times x minus h quantity squared plus k, okay? To find vertex, vertex is h comma k, okay? Vertex is h, k. What you need to remember about this is change the sign, keep the sign. Okay, so you need to remember that you need to change it and keep it. So change the sign, keep the sign. So if I was to graph number 3, okay, if I asked you to graph number 3, it would be a lot simpler now, okay? Your vertex would be what? 6, 8. So I want you to go ahead and label. We labeled the vertex. Now let's graph it, okay? Line of symmetry is at x equals 6. You do not have to count over here. As long as it's labeled, that's fine. So x equals 6 for your line of symmetry. My vertex is over 6 up 8. So I'm going to say it's, I don't know, right there. 6, 8. Now, what direction would this be opening? Up or down? It is it positive or negative at the beginning? Positive. So that means it's opening up. And that's it. Okay? We don't have to have perfect graphs on this.